And I think that the thing that the Survivor fans want to talk about is Rick Devens. Is Rick Devens. And I've been talking about this, the Rick Devens Rorschach test. Some people see Rick Devens and they see, wow, a man among men, Rick Devens, an American hero, a national treasure, Rick Devens. Other people say Rick Devens is ruining Survivor. Rick Devens is everything that's wrong with Survivor. And Rick Devens is just trying to ruin it for me.
Well, Josh Wigler had a very funny tweet earlier where he posted the just like he wrote Rick Devens, then he had a picture of the famous blue and gold dress, or whatever it was, blue and what?
Yeah,
and it's really, really true. Where it's
Laurel and Yanni.
Like, exactly. He's like the most divisive contestant, I think, and that I can remember recently, where some people just adore him and some people loathe him. And it's
we live in polarized times.
We do live in polarized times. There's people on the pro Rick Devens and the anti Rick Devens side of the political aisle. And I think he's like hurt by the existence of a couple of winners in recent years who just seemed to really dominate the idol finding and the the screen time. Certainly Ben was one of those. Mike to a lesser extent. I think Mike was but
Mike won by way of immunity.
Mike beasted out.
The thing
really.
that Mike had, and I think that Rick is sort of like in the middle of those things where that I think that in Survivor Worlds Apart, with all due respect to the cast of Worlds Apart, Mike was sort of like the only likable person among a very, unlikable group, with all due respect to the future Mrs. Anglam and Mama C, and the great Will Sims, too. That Mike was sort of the person who, of that group, you felt good rooting about. Ben, although was
Shireen.
but towards the end. Ben at the end there, he was there with a bunch of viable winner candidates and then ended up being the winner. This feels more like Mike Holloway to me.
Well, right. I mean, in as much as like it does seem like Rick is the but so as someone else noted that the social politics of that little kind of interaction between Lauren and I think it was Billy Geese who pointed this out, between Lauren and Gavin and Victoria, like that was a really interesting moment. And that could have been like really explored. Like, Lauren is proposing something, but she's kind of like wants to maybe like, is okay leaving Victoria out of it. And Gavin brings it to Victoria and like he's in the middle and she's not totally into it. And like, it was presented very quickly, but that kind of moment is what, Survivor used to be about, right? It was these sort of subtle social manipulations.